Zach here, full-time reseller, and I am back at it again, out on the hunt for undervalued and underappreciated new and used goods, clothing, and shoes. It doesn't matter. If I can buy it and it's profitable, I don't mind selling it either. But I'm up here in Southern Colorado again at my local digs, or at least at one of my favorite thrift stores. I'm not so certain that the thrift store is going to be real great today. It's several days after the holiday, and I haven't been here since the beginning of the week, but I definitely needed to get out today and do some work. The holiday has kept me from sourcing, and as many of you know who work for yourselves in this field, that any 0 days that you're not working are days that are counting against you and building that death pile. So follow along. I'm going to show you how I do it. I will share with you what I pay for these items and then give you an idea what I can sell them for. Hopefully this will be beneficial to your knowledge and help improve your game, especially if you're getting into this reselling endeavor. So follow along. Let's see what I can come up with. All right, it's a little blustery up here, and one of the benefits of living so close to Colorado is I get to enjoy all of its beauty and also the good thrift stores they have up here. So hopefully we come across some goods today. It's ugly outside, and probably because of the holiday, there's not a whole lot of people here. So I'm gonna start with jackets and performance wear and start burning through some clothing racks to see what I can't hopefully find to flip. So one thing I learned from watching other reseller videos is to always be not only looking for brands that look like they're of superior quality, but to also be feeling the texture of the fabrics. And so certain fabrics like wool can be a little bit more coarse or a little bit fuzzier, but then you could have materials that are like cashmere that are super soft. And so I'm always trying to look for tags that also stand out, and besides upgraded materials, funky higher quality tags, or sometimes even tags that are kind of obscure. I'll take the time to take a time out and just check the brand and see if it's worthy of a purchase. And so that's a little tip for you. Hopefully that helps. Unfortunately, not having too much success here at the Durango Goodwill, but that's probably most likely due to the holiday just occurring. And Durango's a historic, beautiful Southern Colorado town. So beyond people coming to visit family in this area for the holidays, it has a lot of tourism that comes to see the narrow gauge railroad, and there are also several ski resorts very near Durango. So I imagine this store just got hit pretty hard. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the women's jackets, look over the shoes and the hard goods, and then probably make my way out of here. And hopefully it gets a little better though. So I'm gonna see if hard goods got anything, because men's and women's clothing certainly didn't. I just wish I could find a lot of some really good printer, because that stuff is easy to sell, easy to list, and easy to store. Not seeing that. I did come across this all-clad 4-quart non-stick pot, but it doesn't have the lid, and it's in pretty rough shape. All-clad is always a winner for me. I don't come across it a lot. This is just beat to hell. So I think I'm gonna have to think this one over, but I'm leaning towards walking. Well, I was really trying to manifest finding a cool old vintage Ninja Turtle or like a Game Boy or something like that, but all I'm finding is Elmo. I came across these Berkey clogs, and they're actually Birkenstocks, and so I'm super glad I recognized the little stamp on them. And I looked to the bottom, and they do have the Birkenstock design on the sole, and they're made in Germany. And if you look on the inside, you can see the sole says Birkenstock. It's a little hard to see because it's faded. It's only $8. I have a 147% sell-through rate. I really hate cleaning shoes, but I have found very little today. And these sell for about $25 to $40. They have a high sell-through rate, so I'm gonna scoop them up. Well, no real bangers or bolos, but I am glad I found the shoes. I'm unfortunately not real glad I have to clean them. They're not in the best condition, but I've just killed it on Birkenstocks in the past, and those are very popular with people that do medical work, but also people that are in like food, kitchen, chef work. And so I'm sure I can clean them up and make 30 bucks off of them, maybe even a little bit more. Just depends on how good I can get them clean. I am, however, going to boogie up to the next thrift store. It's pretty nasty outside right now, but fortunately I do have 4-wheel drive in my pickup. So I got about a 10-minute drive to the next stop. I'm going to pull in there. I'm going to try to race through there pretty quick. And then I'm not certain I'll stop at the third thrift store up here. It's just not been that great the last several months. and the weather's really bad right now, so I might want to just boogie back home, especially if the next stop's not real fruitful. That's how reselling goes. Sometimes I'm really glad when I have footage like this to share with you, because when you're sourcing in a smaller area with a limited number of thrift stores, sometimes there's just days you're not going to find much. And so I'm often envious of the people that live in big cities, but I have thrifted a lot in bigger cities, and I know there's just more competition despite being more inventory to choose from. So there's pros and cons about where I live, and taking into consideration a lot of these things is very important if you're thinking about getting into this hustle, especially if you want to make it your full-time income. I often struggle, especially in the winter months when there's no garage sales going on where I live, to source items consistently. But fortunately, I do have a big lead on my listing inventory. I have a huge death pile, and so always be thinking about growing your death pile and maintaining one. That gives me insurance that I'm doing a good job with my business and that I have comfort to always list stuff, because a lot of these clothing sale sites online are powered by algorithms, and a lot of them want to see consistent work being put in to them and investment, and that means listing daily. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off my soapbox, quit talking, and race down the road, and I'll rejoin you here in a minute. Definitely one of my favorite stores up here in Durango, Colorado. It is a smaller store, but the prices are pretty good. Shoes can be kind of expensive, but the quality of the shoes are generally pretty all right, and so let's hope for the best. Hello, sir. So luck must be on my side after not being so lucky at the last stop. This knit zip up looks to be in pretty good shape. It does have a oil-filled company embroidery on it, and says First for Hunters, but that's an oil-filled company. So not gonna even second get it, so gonna grab it. This women's Patagonia fleece zip-up jacket, it looks to be older, but it's a small. Not real crazy about the color. It's not bad, but it's not great. Price just isn't there, and these don't sell for that much, and they're not all that desirable despite having that on it. So I'm gonna walk on this one, just be happy with the Kuiu I found. All right, I found this women's half zip. It is Patagonia, and I can confirm that by what little screen printing is left. But this is pretty beat up, and while the price isn't terribly bad, you can't really tell what size it is. And again, it doesn't really have a whole lot of the Patagonia hit on it, which is what people are looking for. So I'll probably skip it. Came across these BKE Jake jeans. They're pretty clean. Price is there. Brand is there. Gonna grab this LL Bean women's flannel, and I don't deal in a lot of women's clothing, but LL Bean is always money for me. And this time of year, flannels of this brand sell well. So did pretty good at the Methodist thrift store here in Durango, Colorado. I did pick up a total of 4 items, and those items should all do pretty well for me. I believe the Kuiu knit zip up should at least get me around $40, $45. I will have to reduce the price of it a little bit because of the outside company's embroidery. The LL Bean women's flannel shirt will probably only sell for about $18 to $20, maybe a little bit less. That's okay. It's a bread and butter item for me, and those kind of items sell good this time of year. BKE jeans are always solid for me, and I generally can sell those for $28 to $34 plus some shipping. And then I also picked myself up a shirt in there, a nice wool sweater. It wasn't a great brand, but it was nice. It was hooded. And so, as I always say, one of the benefits of flipping, and especially being a clothing reseller, is it'll help your wardrobe game immensely if you're looking for the brands that you like and the sizes that fit you. And so all in all, not the best day up here in Durango, but I still came away with some small victories. And the Birkenstocks shoes I bought, as I said earlier, should sell for probably maybe mid-30s if I can get them cleaned up pretty nice. All the items I bought today are solid sellers for me. So my one little tip of advice for you today in this video is to attach yourself to brands that sell well for you. Those brands may not sell well for other people because the area they live in is maybe just not as resourceful with those items, and maybe the desire for those items is just not hitting you in the algorithm the same as it is as other sellers. But I know there are brands that sell well for me that don't sell well for other resellers, and I watch thousands of hours of content online about resellers because I'm always trying to educate myself on better brands to source and resell. So be buying those brands that do the best for you, make them your bread and butter. I'm not gonna do a haul today. I'm gonna get down the road and try to beat this weather because it's just getting nasty up here in Colorado, and I got about a 30-minute drive to get back down to my hometown of Aztec. So thank you for following. If there's anything I passed up in this video that was of value and I just completely missed it, please give me a hard time in the comments. If you have any questions about getting into this type of business, reselling, or even content creation on YouTube, while I am still new to it, I've had a lot of success in the last year and a half, and it feels so good to work for myself. It's super rewarding. So hit me up in those comments. I'd love to share with you the things I've learned and all the things I've experienced, as well as the things I've failed at, so you can learn from me. Nonetheless, I will get off my microphone now. I'm out of here. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, please hit like, make a comment, or as always, subscribe. I'm out.